Hello everyone. So in this case, in this video, we're going to talk about why APC is a very good brand. So as you can see here, I just bought this, so I just took it out of the box, easy. So in this case, as you can see here, hopefully, okay, we have a 1500 volt amps and 900 amps, 900 watts. So we have the runtime is 150. So I'm going to tell you why this brand is very good and why it's better than the other brands. So basically, I just took it out of the box. I'm going to show you the back so the way you can see and you can tell. You're going to be able to tell the difference when you are going to buy, a battery backup like this, or UPS as they call it as well. So now we're going to change the camera. So I'm going to show you here. So you can see here. If you never saw one of these or you don't know all the functions and why this is better than the other ones. So for instance, the main thing is you have the protector, the surge protector, for instance, for Ethernet. So you have here you can put the in for the Ethernet. Let's say you have a cable modem, so you put it from the cable modem to here and from here to the switch. So the way if there is any lightning or anything like that, maybe any storm, you're going to be able to protect your cable modem. Also, you can do that, the same thing if you have, I don't know, your computer is directly connected to the cable modem. So you have your cable modem here, and this is where you can connect the computer. So that way, you're going to protect it that way. Another thing that you can protect that you don't have in most of the battery backups is this that you see here. For instance, here is for the coax cable. So basically, you put the cable that goes to the cable modem, you put it just here, and the one that comes out from this, you can put it in the cable modem. So that way, if you have any storm or anything like that, it will protect it as well. Here that it says ground, usually this is should be going directly to the rod, the grounding rod that goes outside. So that way you have an extra protection for that, just in case if you don't have a ground on your electric installation or something like that. If you don't put, any adapter, you should be good. But otherwise, usually that is how it goes. The main thing about this, the main difference that you're going to see in all the battery backups is this. Is this connector. This makes the this product much better than the competition. For instance, you have the data port. So what you do when you buy the product, you just hook this up here, and the advantage and the benefit that you're going to have is that you're going to connect this directly to your computer or to your server, or if you have a NAS or something else where you do all your backup. So that way, if there is an outage, this is going to send the signal to the computer that the computer will have to turn off by itself, or go to sleep or in standby mode or something, so that way you're not going to lose the data. Because you will see most of the regular battery backup or UPS, they are going to run until the battery lost all the power, and that's it. So until the battery runs out of energy, basically, that is what I'm trying to say. So if you don't have anything like that and you're not in front of the computer, you're not going to be able to turn off the computer properly, and you will be like having nothing, basically. So if you have maybe a storm or something like that, yes, or maybe a surge on your power line, this will protect it, but you don't want to damage or corrupt the files. So in order to do that, the computer have to turn off normally by the software, so that way you don't have any issue. The same thing that you do when you have a computer. You don't just yank the cable. You go start and then you power off. That's as you should with Windows, or if you're using Linux or something like that, using the command line or something like that. So that is the main thing. That is why this is a better one, or the reason why this is a better product than the rest. So now I'm going to show you the other ports, so that way you can learn a little bit. So as you can see here, you have a battery plus a surge. So if you want to have the battery plus surge, you're going to use this side. But if you don't care about the battery side, let's say that you don't want to use the battery backup, so just to protect any electronic from surge, you can hook it up here. Here, as you can see here, it says battery plus surge, and here it says surge only. So here, what you can hook up, maybe a printer, or maybe a switch, or maybe something that you don't care, that if you lose power, you know, you can turn it back on and everything should be good. So the same thing here, so in this area. So in this area where it says battery and surge, what you're going to do, you're going to connect here the computer, server, or whatever. So basically, you're going to have different options when you buy a UPS or battery backup. You're going to buy, you have this type of format. I'm going to change the screen so that way you can see it. Where it's going to stand, it's going to be like a small computer case. This is one option, and you have another option, the one that goes in the rack. So if you have a data center or servers or something that is rackable, you can buy one of those. The big ones, they're going to be more expensive than this, but they are worth it. So because that way you can have more watts, both amps, and more wattage. So here, like I said, is 900 watts, and that's it. Maybe you can get a little bit bigger than this, but not much. So if you want like something like very large, let's say you have to connect 5, 10 servers or something like that, you're going to buy the other kind that is going to be way more expensive. At least for this, if you have a small NAS, like a battery backup system, or a computer or a small server, this is going to be plenty enough. Always you have to make sure the wattage consumption. So if your server is, you know, pulling 200 watts, this will be okay. If it is more than that, you have to do the math and see everything that you have to that you can connect here. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is if you have, for instance, in offices, I have seen this before, where, you know, people see this and they see many electric outlets available in this device. So they're going to try to hook it up, you know, the blender, the vacuum cleaner, the whatever, you know, a fridge, or maybe even a small space heater, and this is going to shut down very quickly. In 2-3 seconds, that's it, you're done. Also, you're going to deplete the battery very, very quickly. If you do that, or laser printers, you're going to have the same issue. So this is only for computers or servers or something like it's very fragile, that you don't want the data, you know, to get corrupted, or you need some type of runtime. Let's say maybe you have a switch, cable modem, and you want it to keep running, you know, even if you have an outage. So this is the product for you. So another thing I like about this, here you have the display. Some of them, you know, even the cheapest model, you're not going to see this. Here you can see the runtime. So here it says 42 minutes. Now this is beeping because it's not connected to the power. And here you have the button where you can change, and then you can see if there was an event. Here the voltage, the output is, here in US we have 110, 120, so here we have 17. This is kind of normal. So here we have the output, the load. So here we have 4 amps, there is no consumption. And the load, as you can see, the load is 0, there is nothing plugged into this. And this is the hertz. Here in US we have 60 hertz, and in other countries where they have 220, usually it's 50 hertz. And we have the runtime, and that's it. I think there is an option here where you can push this button, I think a few seconds, and then we're not going to have the beeping sound or anything like that. So the chime, the problem with that is, you know, you're going to have an outage. Maybe you're working on your computer, you hook up the monitor here, the computer, maybe a cable modem, and you're going to keep working, and you're not going to realize that you have an outage. Then, you know, you're going to run out of battery. Even if you have this, you're not going to have this issue, or you should not have any issue. The computer will tell you, okay, there is no power, so it's time to turn off the computer. The Windows itself, it has a software. So if you want to use the software that comes with Windows, you can set it up so that way it will turn off in X amount of minutes, or it will send you an email or something like that. Sometimes you can these type of devices, they come with a software that you can install, so that way you can get maybe an alert on your cell phone, a text message, or an email, or something else. So that way, if you have any issue in your house, on your office, you can tell right away that you're having some issues. That you can tell everyone, hey, turn off the server, or what's going on? Why we don't have any power, or something like that. So that is the main thing. If you have the other ones that you can install in a data center, the main thing is instead of having the USB port, I mean, you can use this, but you have the other option where you can connect the Ethernet port. So that way you can control everything, all the UPS, via Ethernet. It will be more professional than this, but at least, for a small home user, home office, or maybe for your home, it should be plenty enough having something like that. Another thing that I recommend is if you can write down the date in the battery, so that way you can replace the battery every 2 years or 3 years. So that way, the battery will be fresh, because otherwise, if you, I seen it before where people, they leave this product, for 5 years, 10 years, who knows how many years, and they don't replace the battery. So when you have an outage, the computer will turn off, and you can, there is nothing that you can do. And this, is going to be kind of useless. You're going to have this, but it's not going to work because you didn't replace the battery. So this is like doing an oil change. So you have to do the oil change every 5,000 miles. So with this, 3 years tops, just replace it and you should be good. Otherwise, if the manufacturer says something else, maybe 5 years or something else. But usually, if you do it like that, you should be good. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is this is like a fuse. So I'm not trying to repair. I have fixed these type of things before, and it may last, it may work. You may have no issues at all, but usually when you repair something, in the later, you may have some another issues in another part of the circuit, because this is like a tea bag, or it's something disposable. You have an issue, it doesn't work, it doesn't turn on, it doesn't work the way it should be. If it's not under the warranty, like usually in this product is 3 years, throw it away, buy a new one, and that's it. That is how you should treat it. If you want to buy a used one, I will not recommend buying used one, because you're going to have this issue. You don't know if the battery, how long the battery was used. Also, if you have to replace the battery, you're going to spend maybe almost the same like buying one of these products brand new. So that is why I don't recommend buying used products of these. Other than that, you should be safe. I am in US, so if you need products, electronics, tools, or anything like that, I can ship it to you. Otherwise, if you're here in US, I'll try to leave in the video description the link of this. If you want to buy this, great. Otherwise, if you have any other question, please let me know in the section below, and see you in the next class. See you later.